Welcome to the Thriving Artist Podcast, where we share strategies and support for artists to thrive.
We know that the art world can feel like a lonely place, and we want to provide a network of support, impactful strategies, and an abundance of encouragement to help you grow your authentic art career.
We're your hosts. I'm Jamie Smith.
And I'm Kaylin Butine, and we are also the co-founders of the Thrive Together Network, a community of female and non-binary identifying artists and artists who are caregivers.
We truly believe in community over competition, and we're so glad you're here. Enjoy this episode. Welcome to another episode of the Thriving Artist Podcast. Thank you so much for being here. I am Jamie Smith. I'm one of your hosts, and my word of the year for 2024. My gosh, it's coming. 2024 is the word flourish. So I have a great feeling about it. I'm going to thrive and flourish, and I want to channel this word in my mindset and in my artwork as well.
Yes, that is hard to believe. I keep seeing all these election signs like 2024, and I'm like, that's so far off. And then I'm like, no, no. I'm Kaylin Butine, your second host, and my word for the year is nurture. So in this episode, we're going to be discussing 5 tips to help you actually stick to your goals in 2024. That is the correct year. As many of you know, at TTN here, we are all about planning. We've created a tool called the Thriving Artist Map, which is a workbook that you can use as a guide for your year ahead, your 2024 ahead in the studio. And it really is, this kind of supportive tool for your art career. It has weekly studio planning pages every week of the year. It has goal setting activities. It's a fully dated calendar. There are social media, newsletter, and marketing strategy
basically a marketing
for
plan
you.
In there.
Yep. Lots of reflection and journal prompts and just all sorts of stuff. We are so proud of this workbook. You can purchase it at our website, thrivetogethernetwork.com, and just use it individually. But we also really think it works best when you join the network, when you become an artist who is part of the Thrive Together Network community, and you book an online membership with us. And then the workbook kind of becomes your curriculum that you do with us as a whole community of 400 artists throughout 2024. So this is really the best time to sign up and join us so that you get the full effect of the 12 months that we've mapped out that we're all going to do together. So
imagine doing a year with us.
You will thrive.
We'll thrive, people.
You will be flourishing and nurturing and thriving artists. So
I like it.
All right, friends, back to the episode. We really just believe in this idea of goal setting, but sometimes following through with our goals, like even if you have a great planner and, a plan and 2 bozos like us encouraging you, like it can still be hard. Like you're living a real life with lots of challenges.
We're trying to think of these strategies that can help you stay on track because it is so easy to make goals right now. And I know from doing my map last year, I can see where things worked and also where things totally fell off the wagon. So it is so important to have sort of this roadmap and stay committed to your goals. So let's start with our tip number 1, Kaylin.
So tip number 1 is to set clear and specific goals. And I think this is something that I have really worked on over the course of my professional artist career. Initially it's like you just kind of have, actually, I remember a concrete example when I was and I might have shared this on the podcast before, but when I was a senior graduating from my MFA program, I just we kind of were doing this goal writing activity, and I wrote out something to the effect of have multiple solo shows a year. And this artist who had much more experience than me was like, that number is way too high for 1 year for a goal. Like you need to get more specific and, kind of pare that down. So really this idea of setting a clear and specific goal that is actually attainable, it's much better to set yourself up for success, to really understand the goal that you want to achieve and, be specific about it. That will really help you provide yourself with clear directions with tasks that you can do. So, you can think about that acronym SMART, right? That we've heard many, many times, goals that are specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time bound as a way to get specific and clear about your goals. A couple examples could be, I want to complete 6 new paintings by the end of March, or I want to increase my social media engagement by 20% in the first quarter of 2024, right? Being very specific, and, putting a number to things if you can, I think can really help you stay focused and have more clarity about the goals that you're working towards.
Well, and I think it's so easy to be vague when we think of the whole year as just a year and this nebulous time. So we've really created in the Thriving Artist Map and the studio guide is all in quarters. And I think this is so much easier to think of 3-month chunks. And it really helps in your planning, I find, to help with that tip number 1. And tip number 2, 5 tips to help you actually stick to your goals in 2024 is to create an action plan. And so taking all those goals, it's great to have them. Now, as we're going to set them into deadlines, and that's where we're making really a step-by-step plan, a roadmap. And of course, we are going to do some planning that we provided already, and you can find all that planning tools that go into creating this whole ecosystem around us of how we're going to set goals and stick with this. And that's thrivetogethernetwork.com//freebies. And, we want to have this plan, but we want to be flexible. So the more we can get in place at the beginning of the year, the more that we can start sticking to this and moving things around as we go.
Absolutely. We definitely don't want you to feel like you're out on a limb here. We want to give you some concrete resources to use. So make sure you check out thrivetogethernetwork.com/freebies to see what we've got for you. So tip number 3 for how to help you actually stick to your goals in 2024 is to find an accountability partner or some artist community. Accountability is a really great and powerful motivator. An accountability partner, specifically a fellow artist, a mentor, or, a friend, somebody you meet on TTN, is, just a great person to share these goals. That act of sharing and, talking through your goals with another person can really help you process them. They're just very invaluable to have, these artists around you that are supporting you in these goals. So we really want to encourage you to, find someone, whether it's on the network or, through Instagram, or an artist in your community who can help hold you accountable, who can, provide you with some support, and, who you can share in the camaraderie and, just the collaboration of working towards things side by side as artists. It really helps you stay motivated.
And I will say, if that feels overwhelming and maybe you're at a point where you don't actually have much of a community of artists, you don't know another artist, maybe you live somewhere where there's very few of you, we see you, we hear you. And that's why we have our Tuesday live Zoom calls, our art and tea sessions, because that is a whole hub of artists coming together. You're all there for a connected purpose, and we're all following the artist map. And really, these are artists that are wanting their career to grow. They want to reach their goals. So they're kind of your people. So if you're feeling like you don't even know how to get started, just jump on, join the membership. And every Tuesday, you're going to have access to people that are doing the same thing you're doing. You're not alone.
Right. And remember, too, that our whole system provides you with the place to craft your own individual career. You're not going to be copying each other's ideas, but you're just sharing encouragement. We're kind of setting up ourselves in a way that helps us to plan for our milestones, but they're, you could be working in Minnesota and somebody else is working in New Delhi, and you kind of get to cheer each other on. So it's just
we're
really
all the
great.
same. We think we're unique butterflies, but actually as artists, we have the same, a lot of the similar needs and wants and fears and all those good things.
Totally. So tip number four, for how to actually help you stick to your goals is to prioritize self-care and balance. So hopefully this, is maybe a wild card thrown in here that you didn't expect. This is a very type A episode, but Jamie and I really believe in addressing the whole person when you're doing all of this planning. Our artist brains are sensitive, and, we want to live lives of compassion, of care, and we really want you to be thinking about yourself just as an individual person as well as a career motivated artist. So remember that your well-being is really crucial for that sustained productivity that you want to have. Taking breaks, practicing mindfulness, engaging in activities that really recharge you and help you maintain, a sense of peace, that don't just bring you into like a zone of anxiety is really important. So we want you to remember to prioritize your self-care so that you can have a lot of mental clarity to show up for your art career.
I love the idea of mental clarity to show up for your art career. I think this is so important. It can also feel a little wooey when we talk about self-care and balance. But if we don't do those things, we don't have the energy to actually follow through. So it is an important one to stick to our goals. If we're not doing those things, it's really hard to keep going. And it really brings me into tip number 5, which is celebrate milestones and progress. So we believe that there are a lot of wins happening in your life, even if sometimes they aren't the big goal or the big thing that you had planned on. And so we spend a lot of time reflecting, but also celebrating as a community. So every quarter we do a session where we center and celebrate and look back, because all these little wins add up and they all add up to important work. And so taking that time to reflect. So when you look at your year and you're setting these goals, make sure that you look at, when am I going to actually make sure that I've followed through? And when am I going to actually celebrate these wins every step of the way?
Totally. Well, that wraps up our 5 tips for sticking to your goals in 2024. Remember, setting goals is just the first step, right? We want you to think about how you can implement some deeper strategies here, setting clear goals that are specific, creating an action plan, finding an accountability partner, prioritizing self-care, and celebrating milestones and all the work that you're doing along the way. We really believe that these things will help keep you sustained as you work towards your goals and help you, make progress in a way that feels holistic and healthy for you as a thriving artist. So if you found these tips helpful, definitely we would love for you to share this episode with other artists and friends, or please leave us a review if you're a consistent podcast listener. So and you can always check us out and what we offer on our website, thrivetogethernetwork.com. Remember, our Thriving Artist Map is now available. You can buy a hard copy, or if you sign up to become a network member, you get a free digital download copy so you can use throughout the rest of the year ahead.
We are so excited for the new year. We're so excited for everything that we are all going to do as thriving artists. And as always, Kaylin and I are here for you. We are cheering you on, and we believe in the work that you're doing as thriving artists.